Hello, Cousin Johnny here. We'd like to thank our sponsors for the Buzzin' with Cousins show. We thank you. Thank you, that garlic stuff. If you like garlic, you're going to love it. Put it on just about anything. That garlic stuff. Tuesday, Alvarado Farmers Market, or go to thatgarlicstuff.com. Thank you. Thank you, I Heart You Candles and Gifts. 222 17th Street, Pacific Grove. Beautiful hand-poured candles made with love. Go see Sherry at 222 17th Street in Pacific Grove. I Heart You Candles and Gifts. Thank you. Thank you, Max Fit Meals, 520 Fremont Street. Grab and go healthy meals. They're delish. On your way from home from work, go grab some, heat them up, and fantastic. Thank you, Suds Cyber Laundry, 709 Lighthouse, Pacific Grove. Great modern machines, big screen TV, coffee, and a great friendly staff. Thank you, Suds. Thank you, the Whiskey Club, 425 Alvarado Street. Over 600 whiskeys to choose from. Go on in, relax, enjoy a nice whiskey. They also have a bottle shop. It's great. Great place to relax and enjoy. Tell them a cousin sent you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, storyteller, author, and all-around good guy, Tony Albano. Tony has written 3 books, the latest being Cherish, about a New York teenager and a nun find love. Thank you, Tony. And if you want to order the book or find out more about Tony, go to Tony, Tony, Albano, Albano, storyteller.com. Check it out. Thank you. Thank you, sponsors, for the Buzzin' with Cousins show. We thank you. Hello, how's everybody doing out there? Cousin Johnny here. We got another great show. I got a great guest. And before further ado, let's bring him on. Please welcome musician and president of the great organization, Al and Friends. Please welcome Rick Richards. Rick, how are you?
Great, Johnny. How you doing, buddy?
Good. I really appreciate you wanting to come on this show, and welcome to Buzzin' with Cousin.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So, Rick, how'd you get to Monterey, and how long you lived here? And give me a little bit of a memory lane.
I'll give you a little quick review here of my life. I was born in Marin County, just up above the San Francisco Bridge in a little town called Belvedere. And after that, we moved to Mazatlan, Mexico, where I lived for a couple of years. My parents put me into a military Catholic school. I was the only English-speaking person in the whole school, so I learned how to speak Spanish very quickly. And from there, we moved to Boston, Massachusetts. I was able to experience the seasons and all the leaves falling and all that fun stuff. And then we moved to a little town called Ojai, which is inland from Santa Barbara. Okay. And my stepfather had never been in the restaurant business before, but he decided to open a restaurant. So he opened a couple of restaurants down there, and our restaurant became one of the most popular, if not the most popular restaurants in the area. And we used to get write-ups in the LA Times, which is about 150 miles away. And when we would have so many people from LA come up. And my parents eventually got kind of into the celebrity scene, and there was a lot of celebrities coming up. And so eventually my parents' best friends were Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward. And I would come home from school on an afternoon, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Restaurant would be closed, and my mom and dad and Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward would be sitting in the living room.
Oh man, wow.
Yeah, and there was one time when we were really, really busy at the restaurant, and my stepfather said, "I've got somebody to give you a hand," because I was way behind on my dishes. And I turned around, and it was Paul Newman putting an apron on to help me wash dishes at my parents' restaurant. So that was really a fun time in my life. And then from there, I moved up to Carmel, and I somehow, my parents talked Carmel High School into letting me come up without my parents here. I had a trailer on Schulte Road at the Camp Riverside campground, and I learned how to play guitar. So I was a new kid in town, so I was a popular kid, and I had all the kids coming over to my trailer and this and that. So eventually, I wanted to start a band, and so I did. I started a little band, and I was just the band leader. I wasn't expecting the band to be named after me, but one of the people in the band said, why don't we name it the Wiley Band, which is my mother's maiden name. So that's how the Wiley Band started.
Okay, all right.
That's how I started. That's how I started here in Monterey.
All you listeners out there that are, lived here for a while and are in, my age group, whatever, picture yourself in the 70s going to the Mission Ranch and listening to a lot of music, and one of the bands was the Wiley Band. So
yes,
put your thinking caps on and remember the Wiley Band. And you guys played a lot at the Mission Ranch, and it was a great dancing band, and we enjoyed it. So that was, how long was that? Were you guys together?
Oh, we did that for almost 10 years, and one of my greatest moments in the band was when we played with Sammy Hagar and the Sons of Champlin at the Monterey Fairgrounds, and I was able to stand in the same place that Jimi Hendrix burned his guitar. And play in front of 5,000 people. And I will never forget it as long as I live. We got done playing, and Bill Champlin, who was one of my all-time musical heroes forever, said, when he came on, said, "Wow, how about that Wiley Band? Is that a band with a lot of energy?" And I lived off of that, Johnny, for about 2 years.
Right.
That was a wonderful time. But we had some incredible times, the Wiley Band.
I remember, yeah. Is there any thoughts of getting the band together again, or starting another band, or just?
No, not really. We tried to do that. And, after your group dismembers, everybody goes different directions. And so we had a hard time pulling everybody back together again. So that just didn't happen. But I sure have some incredible memories, let me tell you.
Oh yeah. We have memories of the Wiley Band during that era. One was in the 70s, wasn't it?
Late. Actually, we started in 1975, and I went back to Ojai to visit some friends of mine, and a friend of mine named Martin Young, who now plays for Clint Black, told me, said, my friend Jim Messina has a Telecaster for sale. So I ended up getting to go to Jim Messina's ranch. This is at the height of Loggins and Messina.
Oh, and,
buy a 1956 Telecaster from him that I still have today. As a matter of fact, it's sitting right over there.
Oh, and, man, that's a collection.
So I've had a lot of really great times playing with the Wiley Band.
And you still play and write songs. I mean, not in a band, but you still do that actively. So I
do. I play every day, and I'm continually writing songs. And it brings me, playing the guitar. That's what I try to explain to people. If you get interested in an instrument, take it up if you can, because if you're passionate about it, it will be a lifelong source of joy for you, and it is for me. So
it's lifelong,
good stuff.
Yeah. So on another note, you're president of that great organization, Al and Friends, and for over 10 years, they've been feeding the hungry over there at Windows by the bay. So how did you get into that? I mean, was it your restaurant background, or did you want to just help people, or how did it happen?
No, I'll tell you, there was one time at my parents' restaurant when somebody came to our back door where I was washing dishes and said he didn't have enough money for a meal, but he was hungry. And so my stepfather brought him in and set him down in the waiting room and served him a fantastic meal and told me that if anybody ever comes to the back door hungry, you bring him in and you give him a fantastic meal. So that was the beginning of my value system that started. And I didn't volunteer as a child or even in my youth. It wasn't until I was an adult that I started thinking, boy, you know, I should probably start giving back a little bit. And so one day I was walking across the Costco parking lot and I saw a gal walking across there right in front of me. And she turned and she said, "Sir, might you have $1 for a bus fare?" And I said, "Sure." So I gave her some money. And then I said, "You know, if you know of any place that I could volunteer my time, I would love to volunteer." So she was the one that said, "Hey, come to Al and Friends on Sunday morning." And I went there and I didn't know one person. And that's how I started with Al and Friends. I just showed up one day and that was the beginning.
And they put you, they gave you an apron and they put you to work.
Immediately. And it was fantastic. And I just saw all the people that were coming together to help people that didn't have as much as many of us do. And it just was so heartwarming to me. I said, you know, I want to be involved with this more and more. So I have been going to Al and Friends since 2017 and have never missed a single Sunday breakfast since. And
now you're president.
Now I'm president. Yeah, I was asked to be a board member, and about a year later, they asked me if I wanted to be vice president, and I said sure. And then they elected me as president, and I'm so honored to have this position. I get to meet so many great people, and you know, Johnny, this is such a wonderful community that we have. You know, Al and Friends is 100% community supported, and you know, we get incredible donations from places like Chomp and Montage and many other places that come forward to help us out on a regular basis. And so we used to be a little bit on the side, little fringe, and now we're pretty much as mainstream as it gets. So
you are, yeah. You told us one day you told me the mayor of Monterey was even down there talking to people.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I've got, let me see if I've got a couple of pictures here I can show you. Here's a picture of, let's see if I can get this right. This is Al and Friends.
Yes.
And that's, this is the lines, kind of hard to get this right. But
I got a couple of photos myself. I want to.
Yeah. And then here's us with our Congressman Jimmy Panetta.
Yeah. Great.
And then here's us with the executive director of the Monterey Bay Fisheries Trust and Julie Packard.
Wow.
The executive director of the Monterey Bay Aquarium. And then here's a picture of our fearless leader, Al.
Oh, there he is, Al. Yeah.
There he is.
So speaking of Al, when I had a couple of conversations with him, I guess he started off just one guy in a little Honda Civic, and maybe he had like 7-8 ham sandwiches, and he'd be going around. And is that kind of how it started? And I mean, in a nutshell, or?
Yeah, you know, he went down to actually where we serve now, which is at Window on the Bay, which is directly across the street from McDonald's on Del Monte Avenue in Monterey. And he went down there one day and he saw that there were people that were hungry there, and there were some people there that, you know, were trying to help them, but they were offering like donuts and, you know, sweets and stuff like that. And, you know, Al said, you know, these people really need they need a hearty meal. You know, this has got to be a tough way to live out here. Right. So that's how it all started. And then he made a commitment to himself that he was going to try this for a year and see if he could make a difference. And he started by knocking on people's doors at just telling them what his mission was and what his dream was and how he could help and how they could help him. And he said he got more no's than yeses, got 9 doors slammed in his face for every one that said,
maybe one.
But, you know, here we are you know, 14 years later. And yeah, that's how it started. That's how he started it all.
Now, you mentioned when we had a conversation, there's approximately 45,000 meals served at Al & Friends so far.
Well, actually, this summer we passed our 50,000 meal mark.
50,000! Wow.
50,000 people in that one little area, in that little parking lot. We've served over 50,000 meals now, actually going on 55,000 now. But, you know, when I first started with Al & Friends, you know, we did what most nonprofits do, and we just got as much stuff as we could, and we got bottled water, and we put everything on, you know, paper plates and you know, with plastic silverware. And since then, we have a sustainability coordinator, a lady who has joined us, and she has taken us from single-use everything to absolutely single-use nothing. So we now serve on plates, and we have silverware, and no more plastic bottles. Everything comes out of a big pump, and we start off the breakfast by offering fresh juices and coffee that's provided to us by the Acme Roasting Coffee Company.
Yeah.
And
great company.
And, yeah, and it's a great way to get the day started.
Yeah, and I know Al was a retired chef, and he was telling me, and then when I found out about Al & Friends, I ran into Al and I said, I got a bunch of canned beans and string beans, and you want me to bring them over? He goes, Johnny, we don't do anything with cans. Everything is from scratch, he told me. So,
that's it. That's his motto.
And
you can't find a can in our whole kitchen. Everything that comes in fresh. It's all fresh vegetables, and even the salads that we serve come from the community garden, all organic.
Right.
So we're real proud of that.
Yeah, and what I was going to tell you was, you guys do. It's really a great event. I mean, you got plates, silverware. It's not like just paper plates and plastic.
No, and you know, and people sit down at tables with chairs with tablecloths on them, you know, and we try to make the event as dignified as we possibly can. We usually have live music. Lately, we've had two different sources of live music, one at one end and one at the other end. It's kind of like we're at the jazz festival between stages, and it's just a lot of fun. And we have what we call a market table. So when people are done eating, we have sacked lunches for them, and hard-boiled eggs, and fresh-made lentil soup that one of our volunteers makes every week, fresh fruit, and other items, so they can take stuff with them for later on if they're still hungry.
And I noticed you had like sinks set up for sanitation, that you go, you know, brush, water, sanitizer, and dry.
Yeah, it's called the 3-dip system, and that is for the health department, and we abide by it strictly. And so we have, like I said, we've got so many wonderful volunteers, but we do all the dishes down there at the beach with a 3-dip system. And then we take everything back to the kitchen after that, and we have a big commercial sanitizer we put everything through. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it has changed a lot since I first started. That's for sure. We never did dishes at the beach, never had a 3-dip system. So constantly trying to upgrade.
Right, and the Arts Council of Monterey County is involved, and they do whatever they can to help out. And don't they provide a musician, Peter Muse?
Peter Muse is absolutely fantastic. Yes, the Arts Council of Monterey provides Peter for us, and he is an incredible musician that warms the heart of everybody. And he knows more songs than anybody I've ever met in my life.
They're all happy songs.
They're all happy songs, and he plays them on a ukulele, and he's absolutely fantastic.
Really,
and when he's not with Al & Friends, he's out teaching kids, and sometimes he goes from school to school to school, and sometimes he'll have up to 400 kids that he teaches at one time. So he's an amazing man.
And I've seen a few times local musician Azai has been playing every now and then. He'll play.
Yes, Azai comes down and he plays as well, and he's a magical person too. So just a lot of good vibes.
Yeah, I noticed that it's a really great thing that I see is that the volunteers are from every parts of life, different age groups, all there wanting to help the fellow man out, and that's really a nice feeling. You got anybody from a 12-year-old all the way to probably a 90-year-old or whatever?
Yeah, we have a young lady who will be graduating from Carmel High School next year, and she started with us when I believe she was in elementary school. She's been with us for years now, but she has learned how to bake the most incredible desserts that look like they come from a French bakery.
I've had it.
She is absolutely amazing. And the diversity of our volunteers. I mean, we have, a retired ER nurse. We have one of the most foremost experts on hurricanes in the entire world. He volunteers for us. We have one gentleman who was the director of marketing and promotion for one of the biggest corporations in the country, all the way down to just the average person living next door. And so all these people mix, and it's a beautiful mix, Johnny.
Yeah, and I've been there a couple times when you've had a guest chef providing the food or providing the breakfast.
Yes, every once in a while we'll whisk in a guest chef, and it is really exciting. We have a chef named Chef Epstein Heisen that comes in occasionally.
Yeah.
We have Marvin Green from Marv's Barbecue that comes in, and he does these beautiful slow smoked tri-tips that are absolutely amazing, and brisket, and he brings them down in these hot boxes. He smokes them for 12 hours, and we serve these big, beautiful sandwiches on these fresh, fluffy Palermo buns, and people absolutely love it. So yeah, we're very fortunate to have some wonderful guest chefs that come down and grace us with their talents occasionally.
And at 6:30, everybody starts pulling in, the van pulls in, everybody starts working and getting the line set up on Sunday.
That's about the time that the first volunteers show up, and then we've got tents to put up. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen before we can serve. And it's funny because I hear people say, well, so you only serve on Sunday. Well, so you don't have that much to do. Johnny, it never ends. The second we get done on Sunday morning, we're already working towards the next.
You're already working for the next one.
Every day towards it.
And when it's over, everybody has it's quick. You guys
fast. Yeah. I say it's almost like a carnival. You know what I mean? We we come in, we put up the big tents and pull them down, and then we're out of there. You'd never even know we were there.
You go back a couple hours later, you don't even see a crumb on where you guys
exactly.
Were. And yeah. So let's say somebody listening to the show, you listeners out there, they want to volunteer. They want to go. So what do I do if I want to volunteer at Allen Friends? What do they do?
What they can do is go to the website, and that's www.allenfriends.org. And there's an area that they can sign up there, or they can just go ahead and email me, Rick at allenfriends.org, and let me know what their dates are that they can volunteer. And sometimes we have more volunteers than we need. Sometimes we don't have enough volunteers.
Yeah.
So it's kind of on a week by week basis.
And then and if somebody wants to donate, they can donate online also at Allen Friends. Correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And we just had something that was absolutely amazing. We had a gentleman, his name is Ben Ballister. And
yes, I wanted to add that.
Yes.
he was
Yes.
on. We
He's
were
an
like,
amazing person. He's a marathon runner, as you know, Johnny, and he just ran 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 different continents to raise money for Al Friends.
yes,
And it was the biggest thing that's ever happened to us.
probably one of the biggest things in Monterey too. As far as athletics,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it
maybe.
was absolutely amazing. And we got a ton of press on it. And it was just a wonderful event. And we didn't even know him before this transpired, but turns out he is just a wonderful, beautiful, heartfelt person that has compassion for everybody. And we're so honored to have him on our team.
I was lucky enough to have him as a guest on the Buzzing with Cousin show. So if you haven't seen that show, please scroll down on Buzzing with Cousin page, scroll down and watch that interview because this guy is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
there's also someone that's in need of some clothes. You have a little station by your wife. Will do that, Patty. She has a station.
Yep. Patty handles all the clothing. So if somebody comes down and they're coming for a meal, but they don't have clothes that they need. For example, it's getting cold. They need a coat. They need this and that, or they don't have. Sometimes we'll have sleeping bags, but we always have clothing, and we have a full table set up. So we offer that free of charge. And what's beautiful is we have created wonderful relationships with a lot of the Goodwill and Salvation Army and a lot of the thrift stores. And so when they have clothing that they can't use, they call us and we take it down there and it's all clean. It's all folded. A lot of it is brand new. And we offer that down there to our guests. We call them our guests.
Yeah.
And they're able to take that stuff and go with it. And so it makes us very happy to be able to, provide music, provide great food, provide food to take with them, and some clothing as well. So that's
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Patty told me we need socks.
Yes.
Everybody out there has got, socks.
And one of the things that's beautiful about what Patty does, she'll find out what people want and she'll tell them come next week. And then all week long, she will look for those size 12 shoes, or she will look for that particular garment that they're looking for. And they come back the next week and Patty says, I've got it right here for you. So that's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
It's beautiful. What a great organization. So Rick, I'm going to keep you on for a couple more minutes because I got a couple of real quick photos I want to do. And here we go. There you are with the treasurer, good man there.
That's Glenn Reese.
Glenn Reese.
Yeah, and if you look in the back, you can see Al back there. He's doing something. He's alongside of one of our volunteers, George. Oh, there's Ben Ballister.
Ben Ballister to your left, right there.
Yes, and see, that's the market table that I was talking about, and all the things there on the table are for people to take with them after they've eaten their breakfast. And so Ben really had a good time. Yeah, that's one of our meals right there.
Wow, that's what that is.
Yes, sir.
There's more volunteers. Look at that! All the tents.
There's our 3 tents, and
it's rain or shine, right?
It's rain or shine, And the other thing is, Johnny, when somebody comes down, we have no questions asked whatsoever. If you're hungry, you get a meal, and it doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if you crawled there or you came in a Maserati. We serve you if you're hungry.
So if Clint Eastwood was down there walking his dog, and he would get a meal if he wanted it.
Yes, he would. Absolutely, he would.
That's what Al was telling me. We're here. If anybody wants food, it doesn't have to be, homeless or whatever. We're feeding whoever is hungry. Yeah,
that's it. And we have a saying. It's you don't have to be homeless to be hungry. And there's a lot of people these days, especially in our area, Johnny. You know, we live in a very expensive area, and a lot of people can make it. They've got homes, they have cars, they have jobs, and they can make it through most of the month, but they get to that last month and
Yeah.
things get really tight. So we are available for those folks as well.
You're right about that. What on the average, what do you guys feed? How many do you feed on a Sunday on the average?
When I first started, we were serving about 40 to 50. And now we're serving anywhere between 120 and 150 every week.
That is really great. There's more volunteers. There's the crew.
There's our group. There's our group.
These guys get
those are all volunteers too. Every one of those people is a volunteer that just comes with love in their hearts to help others, and we embrace them. And we have created some of the most beautiful relationships with these people, and some of these folks have been with us for years. There's Patty. She's the clothing queen, and rightfully so. She has that title.
Yeah, she's good. She's great.
Yes, she is.
There's more volunteers.
Yep, more volunteers. Just wonderful, wonderful volunteers. There I am with my chef's hat on.
We love it. There it is.
Sure.
And okay, so when Ben Ballister did that incredible feat, he flew back in, and he was really overwhelmed by the support of Alan Franz. You greeted him at the airport, and there you guys are right there.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. He wasn't expecting that.
He told me it was a special thing that.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, that was an amazing moment, and just to see the look on his face when he got off of that plane.
I thought maybe there was going to be like two people there, hey, congratulations. I think it was a big group with signs and everything. So anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic.
I know you're a busy man with this, running around, because it's a 7-day-a-week thing that you do. So I'm going to let you go, and I want to say I'm so thankful for what you and Alan Franz and do in the community. And there's also other organizations too that are helping out too.
There's some great organizations out there, Johnny. Wonderful organizations.
And I just want to close with saying that, anybody out there, you don't have to make a year commitment. Just every now and then, even once a year, donate something, donate clothes. If you got extra money, donate a little bit of that. Volunteer, help a lady walk across the street. You know what I mean? Just help out in this beautiful community that we live in. And so, Rick, I'm going to let you go. So, Rick Richards, thank you. Cousin Johnny, we're going to be out. So, everybody have a great day. And Alan Franz, bye.
Thank you, Johnny.